Welcome back to IceMen Live at Beef O'Brady's. Once again, I'm Sean Pooley, and we are presented by Coors Lights. And now is your chance to ask IceMen goaltender Cal Heeter all the questions that have been on your mind.
I have a question for you. I'm the owner here at Beefs, and I talked to Coach a little while ago, and I said, look, at the end of the season when the goalie gets tired, if you need some help, I'd be willing to come in and spell you a couple of minutes. I can't skate for squat, but I like to fight. So, if you want to give me some pointers in case he calls me up, I told him $1 I'd come play one day. You got any? What are your pointers for an aspiring 47-year-old, never skated in his life goalie?
Keep your day job.
Good advice. Good advice.
I have a related question, but it's more of a up-and-coming goalie that plays for Scorch for his first year this year. Do you have any advice for him?
Work hard. There's no limit to how far you can go except for yourself. If you take days off and you're not working hard in practice, it's only going to hurt you in the future. Make sure you stay focused, but you got to have fun with it too. You can't let it turn into a job. You got to enjoy. You got to have fun. You got to laugh. There's going to be moments that are tough where you're not having a good time, but there's going to be a lot of times when you are. Your team's playing well, you're playing well for them. So, like I said, just continue to work hard, stay focused, but, most importantly, make sure you're having a good time out there.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
The guy you flipped in the game, did he have any words for you later on?
Nope, didn't say anything to me, at least not that I heard, at least. I skated back by him, and he just sort of looked at me, and that was about it.
And first off, there was an extra game Saturday, and obviously for most people, the main thing that everybody enjoyed about you was that flip in the third, and also I thought you just absolutely took great care of the goal and the crease and everything in that area, and it was quite impressive. Just the level of difference that most people could tell between you and goalies that we've had in the past. And one of the things that I was kind of interested in, because you've kind of gone through most of the levels in all the way up to the show and in minor league, what was the biggest step for you? Was it going from college to minors or anything like that?
Yeah, for me, I'd say you hit right on the head there. Toughest move for me was going college to the American Hockey League. That was what I thought was the largest jump. The difference between the American Hockey League and the NHL isn't quite as different as that was. I actually think it's easier to go from the AHL to the NHL than it would be to go from college to the American League. So for me, that would be it. Coming out of college was tougher, and then when you move from the AHL to the NHL, things are just a bit quicker. Guys are a bit bigger and a bit stronger, but overall, those two leagues are fairly comparable.
And I know a lot of goalies have certain routines that they like to go through during warm-ups. Is there anything that when you go to a new team or you warm up each night, there's something that you tell every guy, or you just kind of go? Everybody has a scripted routine out there.
No, like you said, I do have a routine, the way I prepare myself for a game, but it doesn't really have much to do with the other guys. There's nothing I need them to do or not do as far as the all-nice warm-up or anything off ice. So I'm pretty laid back as far as that goes. I don't need anything specific. Just I can take care of the things I need to myself and then make sure that I'm ready to play.
And lastly, one of the things I kind of noticed during preseason in Fort Wayne that you did a good job of trying to make sure that you had visibility whenever they were close up on you. What did you learn that from somebody, or did that just something you figured out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're taught different ways to do those, to fight through the screen as you're coming up and you're learning how to play goalie. But you sort of pick things up as you continue to play and you learn what you have to do, looking over guys, looking around guys, and it depends on each individual situation as well. So there's always a different way to go about things, and not saying one way is wrong or one way is right, but most importantly, you just have to keep an eye on the puck, because if you can't see it, it's going to be tough to stop.
We've seen lots of goalies of various sizes, and sometimes you have a tall goalie who isn't very good, sometimes you have a tall goalie who is, sometimes you have a short goalie who's very good, and sometimes you don't. Is there anything that you can speak to about, size and technique, and do you learn things differently being taller versus being shorter to make yourself a better goalie?
I think obviously there's been a trend as of late. NHL goalies getting bigger and bigger on average. But the same thing goes for the players. I mean, Wayne Gretzky's a small guy. If you ever met him, he's not very big. So same thing with the players are getting bigger and bigger, as well are the goalies. But I wouldn't say you're taught a different way. I mean, there's certain things you can get away with being a larger goaltender than if you're short, but you don't really learn anything too drastically different.
Do you gain any sort of psychological advantage on the forward by necessarily being taller, or by the time you get to professional when it doesn't happen?
I'm sorry, do I gain any advantage by being taller?
Psychologically, do you get to psych out the forward because you got 6 inches on him, for example?
I could really attest to that, but I don't think at this level that people are really intimidated by physical stature unless you're getting ready to fight somebody. So I think as far as it being a taller goaltender, I don't think it really has much of a psychological effect on the opponents.
You did real well in that in the shootout in Fort Wayne. How much practice have you had with those since you've been here, and how is that different, if any, from anywhere else you've been?
I'm not sure if we practice here. We sometimes play some games after practice that are sort of similar to that, like little breakaway games, but not all. We haven't specifically practiced the shootout in the practice here, but it's something you obviously work on throughout the summer. Guys, forwards love to come down and take those, so as long as you can put up with it, they'll be there in line waiting to give it to you.
You get to study any of the opponents just in case, or you're not worried about that at this point?
I think at this level I haven't done that. I was up in the NHL there for a month or so. We'd go over video before games about the other teams, a few highest scores, and watch a few clips about shootout tendencies, but still, they're just that, they're tendencies. It's not going to give you a playbook on exactly what the opponents are going to do or where they're going to shoot, how they're going to try and score on you. So you might learn a couple of things, but you still have to be ready for the unexpected.
Thanks.
Yep.
Looks like Brian Ball's got another question.
Say, I noticed that you played for the best college in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Which is the greatest college ever.
I agree.
Do you have any great, memorable moments playing against the most horrible university ever, the Michigan Wolverines? Any great moments?
Yeah, a few come to mind. We played one outdoor game against them. We ended up winning, but we played up in Cleveland. The Cleveland Indians play baseball. We played an outdoor game there in the winter, and that was really fun. Not the greatest turnout as far as win or lose, but there are 30,000 fans there, and for me that was the first ever game I played outdoors, and it was great to have it be on such a large stage. Another moment would be, that was my junior or senior year. We went and played Michigan, and we beat them Friday and Saturday night. I think that was the first time that the Buckeyes had gone in there and swept the weekend against Michigan in 25 years. I think the last year had been 84 or something like that. So it's been quite a while. That was really a lot of fun for me.
All right, any more questions for Cal Heeter?
Well, one last thing, coming from college, does Ohio State have any traditions going into another bar, or what's the most interesting one that you've seen at another university, visiting or just having been there?
What's the most interesting university I've seen? I'm
No,
sorry.
just most interesting tradition as far as within hockey or college hockey.
I don't know. A lot of the other, we didn't have the greatest student turnouts to our games. We had good attendance, but not a huge student section. But there were other schools that had very large student sections that were always loud and chanting. So that was always, usually they're chanting against us, but it was still pretty cool to see. As far as traditions go, we didn't have anything too crazy. Sometimes we'd sing, we had a song that we'd sing after wins. That was about it.
All right, any more questions for Cal? Yeah, there we go. We got one.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to. You said something about the crowd being really into the game and being loud and things like that. That was we were kind of actually tame Saturday night. When we played Fort Wayne, and even worse when we play Cincinnati, then you're going to see something
Can't
and
wait.
hear something. But the worst, and I want to prepare you for this, is Education Day. If you can imagine 9,000 screaming kids in the arena. I mean, it's awesome.
Can't wait for that one either. That sounds
It'll
fantastic.
be cool. So I just wanted to warn you.
Thank you.
Prepare your ears.
Perfect.
Just kind of going off of that, though, I think this Saturday in Indy, I think we need to show them what it's going to be like when Fort Wayne comes in. I think we need to bring that Fort Wayne noise to this weekend in Indy.
So I wanted to know, do you have a nickname?
Do I have a nickname?
Yeah.
Not really. Sometimes people call me Heats, Cal, short for Calvin, but nothing too crazy.
Thank you.
Yep.
Popular guy, we got tons of questions for you.
What other sports did you play growing up besides hockey?
I played baseball up until I was about 13, and I played soccer as well until I was probably 10 or so.
Okay, so I'm trying to get to him to needs to play everything while he can, not just play one thing. So when did you just start playing hockey?
Probably about 13 is when I cut everything else out. Didn't really have time for it anymore. I was playing almost year-round as far as the hockey went, and didn't have time to be on a competitive baseball team or anything else.
Anyone else? Questions for Cal Heeter? There we go. We got one right here. Gotta come out from hiding though back there. You gotta come out and show.
How long have you been playing hockey?
20 years or so. So I started playing when I was about 5 years old. So getting older. I know it's a long time.
All right, good question. Anyone else? Questions? All right, I had a follow-up. All right, go ahead. No.
Are there any goalies that you modeled yourself after that you, when you were a kid or now or whatever, you try to play like, or is it just you play like you play and that's how you are?
There's definitely goalies I can appreciate how skilled they are and the type of game they play. For me, I really like the way, aspects of Carey Price, aspects of Pecorine on Predators, and then Tuukka as well in Boston. I think there's lots of specific things those guys do, and they do it incredibly well. So I wouldn't say so much model myself or model my game after theirs, but you're always learning. You always have to see what guys are doing, what you could change. So constantly evolving as a goaltender and trying to improve yourself day to day.
I'm glad I let you go. Yours was a heck of a lot better than mine. But I was going to just go off of Steve's question. Did you meet Wayne Gretzky when you made it sound like you met Wayne Gretzky? Because you said you was
Well, I
small.
never shook hands with the guy, but I've been in the same room as him before.
Okay, cool. That one just came to mind for me. But I think that, did anyone else have any questions for Cal? Yeah, get it, raise the hand right here. Oh wait, what'd you have for dinner over there?
Steak tacos and side salad balsamic.
Good.
Is there any rivalry in the locker room at all, here or anywhere else, between the guys who went through the American college system and the guys who went through Major Junior?
I wouldn't say there's so much as a rivalry. There's a bit of banter back and forth between the college and major junior guys. More often than not, revolving around education and the lack of education of these major junior players. But it's nothing personal or no one's trying to break someone else's heart. They're just jokes, plain fun.
So back to my future aspirations. No, I'm just kidding. So what do you think your chances of getting called up to the NHL are? I mean, you went to training camp with Philadelphia, right?
Toronto this year.
Toronto.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your chances? Do you think that you could get hooked up with another NHL team?
I don't think you can put a number on it. Stay focused, work hard every day, and continue to try and get better. Here at this level, you have to stay positive, and if you get sent down somewhere you don't want to be, you get in a bad mood or start doing things you shouldn't be, you're only going to get stuck there. So for me, it's just like I said, take it one day at a time. And it could be tomorrow, it could be a month, couldn't be never at all. So
How old are you?
25.
Okay, you're still young enough to make it up there. Huh?
Well, I don't think there's an age limit on professional hockey.
Hey, I'm 47. I want to play hockey.
Well, you told me you can't skate. Might want to work on that first.
All right.
I'm moving up for sport. Do you know what would be the best way to practice your butterflies?
Well, I have certain things I want to work on in practice. I'll take maybe 10 minutes before practice starts to get out there early on the ice and work on those things. Develop a muscle memory so that way that becomes your habit. That's what you'll do in every situation. So you're not having to decide from situation to situation what you're going to do. Your muscle memory's already been built and you can go right into it.
Good questions. Good questions. A lot of technical stuff there. Anyone else got anything more for Cal Heeter? All right. Well, I think that's just enough from you, Cal. Thank you so much for joining us on IceMen Live, presented by Beefo Brady's, at Beefo Brady's, presented by Coors Light. We look forward to having you back.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, fans.